In the next housing recession, it's my bet that home prices are going to be moving higher. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Wheatley. I'm a realtor here in upstate New York, and economists have been predicting a recession hitting in the next 12 months. And for those that have been waiting for the fall of the economy, for a fall in home prices, quit waiting. Pop quiz. In the last 6 recessions going back to 1980, how many times have housing prices gone down? I want you to leave your answer in the comments below, and we'll get to that answer a little later on. So this was the attention getter. This was the big quote out of the Federal Reserve March meeting summary. And with most economists still saying months later they expect a recession sometime in the next 12 to 18 months, let's go back and get a little bit more context. So the full quote was, given their assessment of the potential economic effects of the recent banking sector developments, the staff's projection at the time of the March meeting included a mild recession starting later this year with a recovery over the subsequent 2 years. Now, they talk a lot about the banking because you got to remember Silicon Valley Bank, some other larger regional banks were collapsing right around the end of the first quarter of the year. And it kind of spooked some things. It spooked the banking industry, but this quote doesn't really take into account the resiliency that we see in the labor market. So there is still some good economic news out there. So what is a recession? Let's start there. The National Bureau of Economic Research defines a recession as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy lasting more than a few months, normally visible in real GDP, real income, employment, industrial production, wholesale, and retail sales. So that brings us to really the big question here. How would housing be impacted by an economic recession? And I thought bankrate.com absolutely nailed it. During a traditional recession, the Fed will usually lower interest rates. This creates an incentive for people to spend money and stimulate the economy. It also typically leads to more affordable mortgage rates, which leads to more opportunities for home buyers. Now, listen up, because this was the answer to the pop quiz, right? A recession does not mean falling prices. In fact, and this is huge, home prices have gone up in 4 of the last 6 recessions. That means the answer to our pop quiz, kids, is 2. Thanks for those that participated. So, waiting for a recession, expecting prices to fall is, to put it as kindly as I can, given all the data available to us, as just not smart. So, what has actually happened over the last 6 recessions going back to 1980? Mortgage interest rates have gone down. But why? Don't fight the Fed. That's why. It's inherently a part of how the Federal Reserve stimulates growth in the economy. And I want to bring this back up too, because it's worth mentioning here again, because it's one of the factors that drives buyer demand. The falling rates will encourage buyers back into the market. And with the limited houses that are on the market and with new buyer demand, that's only going to put upward pressure on prices. So there's no such thing as a sure thing, obviously, and I'm not an economist, but I would say that if or when the next recession does roll around, if it happens anytime soon, the underlying conditions in this housing market are going to continue to persist, and that's going to push property values higher. Hey, don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up on the latest information on the housing market. And if you need help in buying or selling a home, feel free to reach out to me or follow up with my EXP partner that shared this video with you. I'm Ian Wheatley.